Live. That'll be fun. This is somewhat unplanned. I'm going to add the live piece of this into it, but here we go. All right, so today, here's what we're talking about. We're talking about content atomization. If you're unfamiliar with the concept of content atomization, it is the idea of taking one single piece of content and transforming it into a multitude of different pieces of content. So today I'm doing the live video version of this, and the live video is going to turn into a multitude of other pieces of content, which I'll show you exactly how I'm going to do it. Again, this live video side of it was kind of unplanned. I just decided, heck, I can do it. Why not? Might as well show that off too. So the plan today is I'm going to be creating a video talking to you a little bit about how content atomization works and why it's a really efficient way for you to be creating content, marketing, and promoting yourself. And I'm going to show you exactly how it works. And then from this live video, I'm going to be creating a multitude of other pieces of content. So here's how it's going to work. Let's take you through it. So the primary purpose of content atomization is that we spend an inordinate amount of our time when it comes to creating content on conceptualizing what the content's going to be about and then creating that initial single piece of content. So that could be a video, it could be a podcast, it could be a blog post. Really when I say content, I mean a big piece of content. I don't mean like a social graphic or something like that. And some people do put a tremendous amount of time into their TikToks and their Instagram reels and things like that. But I'm talking more about bigger, more substantial pieces of content, long form blog posts, podcasts that are longer than 20 minutes, videos that tend to be about 5 minutes to 10 minutes or sometimes even longer. And then the idea is that you're able to take that content and turn it into smaller pieces of content, thereby maximizing the impact of that piece of content and giving you multiple assets to be able to promote all across your different promotional channels. So what I'm going to show you how this works today is really walk you through visually depicting how this sort of thing works. So today, for instance, I'm creating this live video in advance of the blog post, which I'll be releasing tomorrow. And I'm going to walk you through how this works. So imagine that on the graphic, I'm going to show you that prior to the first piece of this, there's actually a live video. So the first one I want to show you is, where did I put that? Crap. See, this is the problem about doing it live. I put it in presentation. Nope. There we go. Okay, cool. I think we're here. Yep, we're good. All right, so step one. Before this, there would be the live video. That's what we're doing here. So we're doing the live video, and from that, we would take the recorded live video at the end of this whole thing that we're doing here today, and we would rip the video, and we would upload that video as an original video to YouTube, to Facebook, to LinkedIn, to Twitter, wherever we decide to upload the original video. That original video could then have the audio extracted from it, and it could become a podcast. So let's say that this live video that I'm doing here, it won't take 45 minutes or 20 minutes even, but imagine it was a longer form conversation that we were having here. I could actually take this entire video, strip the audio, turn that into a podcast. That podcast and that video then, I can actually take the bigger video and I can chop it up into some smaller pieces. So I might start out with, say, the introduction portion of this video that I just did, and I'll strip out, say, 30 seconds to 45 seconds, and that might be a clip. Now, me going through these graphics might be the second clip. So now I've got one long video, one long podcast, and two shorter videos. And from those two shorter videos, I might pull out some of my audio clips of me speaking about these things and maybe some graphics, or maybe just a really well-designed cover image, and I would turn those into audiograms. There's an application you can use online called Headliner. You go to headliner.app, and you're able to upload some graphics, take the audio clip that you want to attach to it, and then it'll put a little waveform over top of it. And I think it looks really nice. You can put them on Instagram, you can put them on Twitter, you can put them on Facebook. You can take this original video and transcribe it, or take the substance of the video and you can turn that into a blog post. If you use something like rev.com, you can then, for, I think it's like $1.20 a minute, you can extract the audio from the video and turn it into a blog post. Then you just have to clean it up, add some graphics, add some headings, do that sort of thing, and you've got a blog post. From there, you could actually take that blog post and pull out some of the smarter things that you've said and turn them into status updates. So you get, say, 3 status updates out of this. So now one piece of content, and again, I'm doing the live video before this, so we're actually now at not 10 pieces of content, but 11 because I've got the live video as well, has now turned into 11 pieces of content. You can also, from the video, pull some screenshots, pull out some quotes. For instance, I might say something profound like, content atomization is the single most efficient way to be a content marketer in 2021. And I could take that quote and I could put that right over top of an image. I might do that, might not. The next piece is that you could actually take the blog post, you could take some of the images from the video, you could even, in this case, I have a graphic here, and you could turn the whole conversation, this whole piece of content into a slide deck to actually step out everything that you're saying piece by piece by piece. So your blog post then becomes slides. So now we're at 15 pieces of content from one live video, and all you have to do is change the format of it. So now that you've got the slides and you've already got the audio from the podcast, you could actually take the audio and lay it over top with the slides, or you could just narrate it and turn it into a video. So now you've actually got the original video, 2 shorter videos, and then you've got a slide deck video as well. And then all of this, you can then take the blog post that would have all of these different assets potentially, or any combination of them, and you put it out as an email newsletter. So that's one way that you could do this whole thing, is to take one piece of content and then strip it into multiple pieces of content. You can start with a blog post, and then you could narrate the blog post. That becomes a video, or read it, and that becomes the video. You could read it, and that becomes the podcast. You could take clips of it and make it status updates. The idea is not that there's a prescriptive way to do this. I'm just giving examples of how it could work. But the idea is that you're taking one piece of content and you're going to chop it up into multiple pieces of content. And that gives you the ability to distribute it across all of these different channels that you might want to use it on. So it's a really, really efficient way to utilize your time in content. And the thing is that I remember Derek Halpern from Social Triggers once posted something around the Pareto Principle, that essentially most people will spend 80% of their time creating content and 20% promoting it. And he suggested that you flip that. You spend 20% of your time creating the content and 80% promoting it. And that can sound like a lot, but imagine you put 1 hour into a piece of content and you then spend 4 hours promoting it. Think how much more attention that content's most likely going to get than if you were to spend 1 hour creating it and then you only spent, say, 20 minutes or 15 minutes promoting it. So you really want to probably shift that a little bit. I've noticed that when I do spend more time on my promotion, my content gets more clicks. I am a really terrible marketer for myself in general. I'm very much a do as I say, not as I do type person. So I know a lot of the strategies that you should be doing, but I tend to just write my blogs and then post them, and hopefully you see them and hopefully you read them and sign up for my newsletter. But I'm definitely not doing everything that I'm telling you to do here. But I did want to show you how content atomization works and why it's such a good use of your time. So this video right now that we're doing, at this point, I've been on for 7 minutes and 55 seconds according to my clock. Made a few flubs at the beginning, may have repeated myself a couple times. If I were to chop this video up at this point, it might be 6 minutes, chopping out 2 minutes of fluff. And then that 6 minutes could then again become the podcast, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So that's kind of the idea here. This is what content atomization looks like. Now, I'm just a single person. After I'm done with this video, I'm going to take the video. I'm probably not going to edit it too much, to be honest, just because I don't want to take the time to do it, but I will create some of these other assets so that when you see the full blog post tomorrow when it comes out, it's actually going to have a bunch of these different variations of this piece of content, all pointing back and trying to promote this single piece of content. And I am actually generally a lot more comfortable writing a blog post than I am speaking on video. I can wax poetic about this subject and we can have a conversation about it, but just me talking to my camera, it's not as comfortable for me as me sitting down and writing a blog post where I can kind of clarify my thoughts, move things around, frame things with headings, etc. So I'm probably going to add a little bit even more to the blog post that's coming out tomorrow. So if you haven't subscribed to my email newsletter, please do at jeffgibbard.com, and you'll be able to see this along with all the other types of content I put out there. But essentially, this is just meant to be an overview for people who don't know what content atomization is. I wanted to create a piece of content so that you could see what it is, and I want to be able to provide all of the different examples of ways that the content could be chopped up so that you can actually look at, hey, from this one idea of talking about content atomization, he atomized the content into 14 different pieces of content. And then, like I said, I just added the live video for fun. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got something out of it if you're watching live, if you're watching after the fact, or if you're consuming one of the smaller pieces of content that is going to be put together from this. Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate you tuning in. Happy Easter, everybody. I'm filming this on a Sunday, just in a little window of time where my daughter is eating. So I figured it was a good time to do it. Take care. Love you all.